Oh yeah, I'll flying over the police station. Yeah.
Is there any particular reason?
Yeah, I'm just having a little look. Is that a lunch? Is that like a canteen at top? You know, around back on side. I'm just having a little look. You know, getting some kind of zoomed in shots to see what there is to see. Really, just having a bit of a nosy, if you know what I mean.
Why though? Any reason for it?
Nah, just for me, personal reason. Don't work for any business or like that, don't we? Yeah.
What's your personal interest with what goes on inside a police station?
Well, it's not my own personal interest, you know what I mean? There's a lot of people.
You said your personal. It's for you. It's personal for you. Well, you've obviously zoomed in well enough to see that there's tables and chairs and asked if there's a canteen. So
no, I never said that, did I? No, I didn't say that, did I? I never said that, did I? No, I said, is that a canteen? I never said I'd zoomed in on the canteen, did I?
You said you got some zoomed in images, yeah, and then asked.
No, I am zooming in on the police station just to have a look at it. Just it's nothing.
For what reason? For what reason? That's all we're interested in is why you would be doing that.
Just for my own purposes. Basically, I'm just making a little documentary of some of the buildings in the area.
Right.
Yeah. So I thought what I'd do is I'll have a look at the police station, because I came to have a look at this place, Forza, which is it's kind of meat processing place, isn't it? So I'm just having a little look around. I came to have a quick look at Forza, and then I saw the police headquarters. So I thought, right, what I'll do is I'll go down there first, have a quick flyover, get zoomed in on some of the bits the public might want to see that they don't generally get to see.
There's a reason that the public don't get to see that, yeah, because it's the inside of the police station.
If a drone pilot is simply filming the exterior of a building while staying within public airspace, that alone isn't breaking any law. Legal concerns only arise if the camera crosses privacy boundaries, like zooming through windows into spaces where people reasonably expect privacy, such as offices or private rooms. Recording the building's exterior, walls, or general surroundings is a perfectly lawful and protected activity. In this case, the auditor's casual question about what a canteen is doesn't suggest he was filming anything private, nor does it breach any security rules. It's a harmless question, not evidence of wrongdoing. He wasn't flying through windows or peering into restricted areas.
I weren't going for any windows or all that.
Is it? Right.
No,
is that reasonable?
No, I think you're talking rubbish. Honestly, I do. Yeah.
Right. There's a reason why there's gates and there's it's card access. There's a reason for that. It's because public are not allowed in there.
Oh, they're not allowed in. I didn't go in.
Right. Well, technically you have, because you've got a camera on that and you've zoomed in. Right?
No, I'm in the airspace above the police station.
That's reasonable, isn't it? Right. That police station is not for public access. Hence why it's so secure. By flying that,
I didn't go in though, so what are you talking to me like that for? I'm not telling me off like a naughty schoolboy.
I'm saying you've flown the drone in there.
Yeah, I have.
Obviously zoomed in on the police station. It's not for public access, right?
I have zoomed in on the police station,
There's a reason why it's not for public access, because it's the police station.
Let's get one thing straight. Zooming in with a camera lens is not the same as entering private property. That's not trespassing. It's not breaking and entering. And it's definitely not illegal access. Under UK law, trespass only applies when someone physically crosses into private land or space. A photo or video taken from outside, even a zoomed in, doesn't cross that legal line. If the officer's logic were correct, every journalist using a telephoto lens would be committing a crime. That's absurd. And remember, Article 10 of the Human Rights Act protects everyone's right to gather and share information, which includes taking photos or filming from public areas.
Fair enough comment.
It's not because you're not allowed to walk through the barriers, fair enough.
What makes you think you can put the drone in there and zoom in?
Because I can fly over, it's in the airspace.
If you're flying over it, but you've told me that you've zoomed in on the building.
I've zoomed in on the building, to get some close-up shots.
Why?
Because I wanted to.
But it's not for public access, is it?
Well, I'm allowed to do that. I'm allowed to do that.
It's not for public access, is it? And that's going to arouse our suspicion.
You can say it's not for public access as much as you want, but you're not going to convince me.
Over it and you're zooming into the police station, so we've come to ask you why.
I know. I've just said I'm literally come to here to make a little video about Forza. Saw the police station. Come in to have a look at the police station.
The auditor isn't causing disruption, hasn't broken any law, and is operating his drone completely within regulations. So why are officers secretly comparing his face to a photo on a phone? This isn't about safety or public protection. It looks more like covert profiling. That's the kind of tactic used when authorities lack evidence but want to intimidate someone. There's no arrest, no caution, no lawful stop, just an attempt to identify someone they personally disapprove of. That's not professional policing. That's harassment wearing a badge. And when the auditor calls it out, the officers pretend it's just a coincidence. But the glances between his face and the phone say otherwise. They were treating him like a suspect, without ever admitting it.
Private conversation in public. Well, I don't know why you're trying to incriminate me.
I've asked you nicely now what your name is.
Yeah.
All right.
Listen to me first.
Personally, I can ask you.
Yeah.
To identify yourself.
Listen to me first.
If you want to mess about, we'll look at going under Terrorism Act. Okay.
Terrorism Act. Don't be stupid. Listen to it. Like, if you're asking for my details, you've got. I don't believe that I have to give you my details. So you're gonna have to tell me what section of the law you're acting when you ask me for those.
As I've said, I'll do it under Terrorism Act if I have to.
What? Which act?
Section 60.
Section 60. Yeah. Terrorism Act.
Yes.
To get my details.
Yes.
Oh.
Then comes a heavy-handed threat. I'll do it under the Terrorism Act if I have to. Section 60. The issue? Section 60 isn't even part of terrorism law. It's from the Criminal Justice and Public Order Act 1994 and only allows stop and search when violence is anticipated, specifically for weapons. It has nothing to do with drones or ID checks. Even if the officer meant Section 43 of the Terrorism Act 2000, that still requires reasonable suspicion of terrorism based on clear, factual grounds, not just filming a building. Refusing to give your name doesn't qualify. So invoking terrorism powers here isn't just a mistake. It's coercion, and it's dangerous.
This guy's a police officer, 4737, and he doesn't know the law. Can you believe that? What do you think of that? The guy that doesn't know the law.
I don't have no comment in fact.
He doesn't have a comment. Anyway, that's fine. Anyway, what's your name? Do you want to give me your name or anything?
Don't have to.
Yeah. You're out in public though now, aren't you? Are you SIA licensed?
Sorry?
Are you SIA licensed?
I am, yes.
Where's your SIA badge then? Because we've got two police over there, and you know it's illegal to not have your SIA badge on in public when you're dealing.
It's within a metre off site.
Within
a metre off site.
A metre off site. Oh, I think you're more than a metre off site. But anyway, I won't tell them anyway because I'm not against you.
Right, so basically all I've just been doing there is just to double check the legislation around the zooming in aspect of it. So you want to fly the drone generically, that's absolutely fine, but you disclosed to me that you'd been zooming in on the building, you'd taken images zoomed in. That's what you said, effectively words to that effect.
What law is that against? What law?
Yeah. Let me finish. Okay. And then you asked me if it were a canteen, so you have clearly been zooming in on.
No, I haven't zoomed in through a window. I haven't zoomed in through a window.
It wouldn't have access to that, so that's where the sticky situation is. So I'm clarifying whether that's okay or not.
Well, I'll tell you now, I haven't zoomed in through a window, so I didn't say that. The camera won't lie. I said, is that the canteen at that side?
Zoomed in images is what you said, I think.
The auditor calmly explains that he hasn't zoomed into windows, has recorded private spaces, and hasn't shared sensitive information. All he mentioned was which side of the building the staff canteen sits on, a detail visible to anyone standing outside. Knowing where a canteen is doesn't breach national security. What this really exposes is how fragile the station's internal privacy might be, not the auditor's behavior. If anything, it's the officers who cross a line by inventing offenses first and checking the law later. That's backward policing. You need lawful grounds before confronting someone, not while you're already mid-interrogation.
If I remember correctly.
Yeah, I did zoom in. I zoomed in on the building because I was getting a close as close I can as I was.
Which would suggest that you've zoomed in on the building there.
Well, yeah, that's
you know that if you hadn't.
Well, which side is the canteen at?
You tell me. You asked.
I don't know. I was just asking if that's the canteen.
If you hadn't zoomed in, so it's reasonable for me to think that that's what you've done.
Well, I haven't done.
Told me.
Well, I'm telling you that I haven't done.
Double check the legislation around that because that's a little bit of a sticky point.
Yeah. Well, that's not what I said, and that's not what I've done.
Okay. We'll agree to disagree on that.
All right. Well, tell you what I'll do. I'll just get on my bike and ride off then.
Well, you won't because until I
until
I ascertain whether you've
am I detained
or not, I'd like you to remain.
No, I'm going to get on my bike and go. I'm going to pack this. I'm going to pack this drone up and I'm off.
Then I will keep you here.
You will keep me here, will you?
Things on you that could harm us or could harm the police station. If it comes back that you have committed an offence, then I may be searching you under Section 1 of PACE.
Yeah, can you just stay back from me?
Yeah, of course.
What are you doing? Why are you walking so close? Look at this. It's just like, I know, but we're both intimidating two police officers walking.
When questioned again, the auditor repeats himself calmly. No zooming into windows, No restricted areas, no sensitive leaks. Just basic, visible information about where the canteen is. This detail isn't secret or harmful. Anyone walking by could see the same thing. What it really shows is how quickly officers turn to imaginary laws instead of solid legal grounds. Policing doesn't work backwards. You don't detain first and then look for justification. You establish the grounds before you act.
Trying to prevent me.
We're explaining to you what the
Yeah,
process is.
I am. Yeah, well, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna leave the scene now because am I detained?
You may well be being detained.
I may well be being detained.
Are you going to listen? You're asking me questions and then you're not letting me finish and answer you.
I'm gonna nip off and come back for Forza later.
Would you like me to answer the question?
I'd like to answer the question whether I'm detained or not with a yes or no answer, and then
Listen.
Yeah.
Once we get back, if you've committed an offence or not, then you can be on your way.
That's not how it works.
Next, the officer tells him to stay put while they figure out if he's done anything wrong. But that's not how the law works. You're either being detained under a specific power, or you're free to leave. There's no in-between stage where an officer can just hold you in place while searching for suspicion. She even hints at using Section 1 apace. But that only applies if there are reasonable grounds to believe someone's carrying stolen or prohibited items. Basing a search on what a future radio call might say isn't lawful. It's pressure disguised as procedure, and it erodes rights quietly, relying on people not knowing the difference.
Well, that's not how it works, is it? You can't just say wait around to see whether or not I've committed an offence. If you're going to detain me, you've got to detain me, and you've got to tell me which section of the law you're detaining me under.
I said if I were going to search it, it'd be Section 1 apace, yeah.
Section 1 apace. That'd be if you're going to search me, yeah?
Yeah.
Right, well, I'm off. So it's a search, is it? Section 1 apace. Let me have a look if you're going to do...
If I was going to search you, it would
Yeah.
be Section 1 apace, yeah. But I'm waiting to hear back. If you want to go, that's fine, because I can't say whether you've committed an offence or not yet.
Yeah,
If you want to leave, that's absolutely fine. I'm just waiting to hear the legislation based on the information you've told. So if you want to go, by all means go.
Here's a crucial legal point. If an officer restricts your freedom of movement, that's detention. So when someone asks, am I being detained? The law requires a clear yes or no. Saying you may well be isn't an answer. It's a dodge. It lets officers act like they're detaining you without admitting responsibility. Worse, the officer in this case ties his freedom to whatever comes back on the radio. Flipping due process on its head, reasonable suspicion must come before detention, not after. If you're waiting for a database to tell you if you have grounds, that's proof you don't have any.
No, I think I'm going to have a little... Yeah, well, I'm going to have a quick look at Section 1 apace and see what powers you've got. Because you've got to have reasonable suspicion that I've committed an offence, haven't you?
Exactly, and I've just explained to you, and that's what I'm trying to establish. So if you want to search it, that's fine, because I've explained it to you.
I'm going to do, yeah. I'm going to have a little look at Section 1 apace and see what your powers are. Because can I just say, will you be? I want to tell you something now, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Will you be really careful, because I really don't want to be getting involved in lawsuits with you. I really don't want to be suing you civilly for breaching my rights. Exactly, and I genuinely don't.
Free to leave, so you can go if you want.
I know, but I genuinely don't. But if you search me under Section 1 apace, you guys are going to be in big trouble.
With you. I've explained it to you. If you want to leave, by all means you can leave. We're not.
This moment exposes just how inconsistent the encounter is. Only minutes earlier, the officer implied the auditor couldn't leave until she determined whether an offense had occurred. Then, without any new facts, she suddenly says he's free to go, while admitting they still haven't decided what law, if any, applies. That's not lawful policing. You can't threaten consequences 1 minute and withdraw them the next. The danger here is subtle but serious. Officers using uncertainty as leverage to keep someone in place, even when they have zero legal authority to do so.
If you want. I've explained that to you.
Are you off now?
No, we're just going to have a sitting car and just wait to see if there's any offences, alright?
Okay then.
If you want to get off, you can, by all means, you can go.
I'm going to complete what I came here to do. There we go, look. And they're off. So all this terrorism malarkey. There you go. See ya.
Under Section 1 of the Police and Criminal Evidence Act 1984, officers must have solid, reasonable grounds to suspect a person is carrying stolen goods, weapons, or prohibited items before a search can lawfully happen. Flying a drone legally or refusing to provide ID doesn't meet that standard. If an officer searched anyway, it could open them up to civil claims for unlawful stop and search, or even human rights violations under Article 8, which protects private life. In the UK, officers don't get blanket immunity. Unlawful actions can and have led to personal liability in court. This isn't just sloppy policing, it's reckless. And just like that, the officers drive away. No arrest, no caution, no search, because there was never any legal foundation to act in the first place. What we've seen is policing built on uncertainty and contradiction, not on law. One officer equated zooming with trespassing. Another invoked terrorism powers with no basis. And both shifted their stance when challenged. They even admitted they were still trying to figure out which legislation might apply. Proof they had no authority from the start. This wasn't about law. It was about discomfort with being filmed. The auditor, knowing his rights, stood firm. And when the law didn't back them up, the officers had nothing left but silence. That wraps up today's breakdown. If you found this analysis helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more independent coverage.